name is Henri.
Hi, I'm Jemina from Noiduin, and you're watching GRIMM TV.
Really nice to meet you, to get to talk to you, and that you took the time for me. How are you doing today?
Well, it's just like we're in a hurry all the time, all this hassle, so my mind is like,
Yeah. Bit nervous, but I think everything is gonna be alright.
Yeah.
I believe you had to come from quite a distance to get here today, right?
It's a 4-hour drive.
So for a lot of people, quite a distance.
Yeah.
I know that most Finns are not that 4 hours. It's okay still.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're here to play show on the Gold Stage, basically close the Gold Stage of this year's Tuska.
Yeah.
I feel for Noiduin, it's a great place to play the Gold Stage. I don't know if you already checked out the venue. I think it fits really well for you. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah, you can really get the atmosphere to be in a bit of a dark environment compared to the daylight with rain and wind and whatnot.
Yeah, and I can imagine for the things you usually put on stage, not having all the wind blowing away, it will be quite nice.
Yeah.
Talking about your live performance, I've seen you guys at pagan which I was really taken away by you guys, and to me at least it felt very much like a ritual. I don't know if that is actually what it is for you guys every time too, or is more like it's just a show we're playing, or.
Well, I don't think it's just a show. But I don't think it's a ritual either. But it's sort of both of them and neither of them. I think it's like we just enjoy music and the playing, and when we play, we want to honor our cultural history and ancestors. So it has these ritualistic things in there, but
you could say it's a ritual for each one of them their own, but we don't plan it to be like if you compare to Heilung to have this real ritual that they are performing. It's more like we do it for ourselves, kind of ritual.
And talking about yourselves, do you have some sort of a ritual that you have before you get on stage to get yourself into the right mindset or energy vibes?
I think we're always in such a hurry that we don't have time to just relax. It's just we have to load in our stuff to the stage and then just go and play. So, but afterwards, I think we do our own thing at the backstage.
Right. Well, a ritual is a ritual. It doesn't matter before or after. Then talking about, you mentioned before, you're trying to sort of channel your ancestors and kind of the folklore of your country, and how do you end up approaching the research on those things to get things correctly, or is that something that has kind of been living with you your whole life?
I wouldn't say it has always been there, because in Finland, unfortunately, we don't get this stuff at school that much. We have religion class, but it's mostly about Christian religion, and then there's this much about Finnish pagan religion, and there was ukko and ahti and whatever. So I guess for both of us, just came through the music when we were teenagers about some bands. For me it was more Norwegian black metal that were into folk stuff, and then I always knew, of course, about Kalevala and stuff, so I wanted to dig deeper into our own stuff, and of course we have Amorphis, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, though I'm happy to see, or like it seems to me that nowadays there's way more attention for it, and way more people that are trying to like cultivate it and keep it alive, and
Yeah.
like you guys, like the people behind Paganifestarit and
Yeah.
so on, like it's nice that there's really actively people now keeping those things alive.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I think it's amazing, and I love that people are interested. Like all of these things, like before it was just the Nordic or the Norse mythology.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think Finnish people are starting to realize now that they actually have their own roots.
Yeah.
So I think that's
And I think it's not just Finnish people, I think it's the same in the Baltics
Yeah.
as well, and pretty much all across the globe, and I think it's really great. I like really much about the Norse mythology, but it's refreshing to see like other
Yeah.
cultures and folklore to pop up.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think people are allowed to be like proud of their
Mhm.
roots.
And the one thing that I personally really love about the whole like realm of paganism, and especially kind of neo-paganism, is that in a sense you get to pick what you connect with.
Yeah.
Like there's not any more necessary to like, oh, you're from there, you need to.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see how many people are like on a discovery for themselves, like, and find that connection with their ancestors.
yeah.
Even though they don't realize it sometimes at that point, because I've seen, I don't know if you know the band Omnia. I saw them live like ages ago, and it was a festival where it was not just alternatives, but it was like a bit of everyone from all walks of life, and you could see it connect with everyone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's really cool, like to see happen. Like even people that normally listen to like commercial radio or something. Now, like you're focusing on like teams that are very much about like Finnish traditions and such, but you're also using very traditional instruments that you often even like make yourselves.
Yeah.
Making those instruments yourself, is that like somewhat to like have more of a connection with like the instrument, or like with making music with it?
I don't think that it was something that I thought about when I built my first instrument, but it certainly has come to that.
Yeah.
Like I realized that other instruments like guitar and piano, like I love them, I play them, but they don't feel so important to me anymore, and only when I build the instrument I get this like really intense feeling and love towards the instrument.
And nowadays we have built the instruments just for Noiduin pretty much, because we have need for some kind of tuning or instrument or whatnot, so we do it just for Noiduin, and it has a certain feel to it because it's made for a purpose.
And considering then sort of like a live production or modern production, how tricky is it to get that aligned?
Yeah, yeah. I've played quite a lot live, mainly electric guitar,
Yeah.
so it's nothing compared to that. It's always pain in the ass, basically. But I think it's worth it because you get the feeling that you don't get with like modern instruments. So, and we used to be really harsh to ourselves when we play live, that oh, we sound like shit and the tuning was so off and whatnot. But then again, you have to forgive yourself, because no one in the audience is basically gonna hear if you're slightly out of tune, and that's, I think, part of the thing that makes this so interesting and feeling like it's ancient. Because like in the Iron Age, when people were playing jouhikkos or kanteles and whatnot, they didn't know about the tuning, they were just playing and what sounds like good and go with the flow.
It's always really difficult, because if you have rain or cold weather, the tuning just goes however it wants all the time, and like these horn instruments that we have, they don't play at all. They don't work at all.
Moisture is the worst enemy of the folk instruments, basically.
Moisture and cold, that's not good in Finland. You recently released an album called Lovey. With my limited Finnish, I tried to get sort of like a grasp of like what Lovey could mean, and from my understanding it's like there's like a crack in something, or like a little notch out or something like that. Is it actually what it kind of refers to? Like,
Lovey is this sort of place where shaman goes when shaman goes into a trance, and the shaman can travel in the underworld, or the Ylinen, which is
like a higher plane.
So I think Lovey it means that all those songs, they are sort of not related to each other, but stories about places where you can go, and it's also like these personal feelings that I sort of give out.
But it's a bit of the same than the last EP Olinen, but it's still a bit different thing. So it's a like continuous thing.
would it make sense to say that, like, you're talking about like a place that they can go when they go in the trance, or like a higher place that's sort of like almost like an opening, or like a crack in like reality, sort of, to get
And there's folklore about Lovey also, that it's like a physical crack in like rock or something, that you can travel to another realm, or some beings like Mahiset can come out of there and stuff.
I know that Finnish language often, like, one word can contain a lot of like meanings and emotion, and more than just like the pure translation. So I kind of wanted to figure out what it meant for you guys. Your like your music and your whole performance, it's like connection with your ancestors. I assume also sort of a connection with like nature, or Finnish nature. So I was kind of wondering if there's like any place for you, like in Finland, that you kind of really connected with, that influenced your music or your writing, or if there's a place that you can like recommend for someone that looks for that kind of connection with nature.
I think there are many places in Finnish forests. We really enjoy to be out in the wild.
And I think Finnish nature, like altogether, not just the forests, but the lakes, and also like rocks and hills, like they have this sort of serenity that it's just so peaceful. But I think Lapland is something that everyone should.
But I have to say also, we were in holiday in the middle of Finland in Jämsä, there's just so beautiful places. Like it's really rocky and a lot of hills and rocks and lakes. I guess there's this very famous rallies every year, but we are not rally people. But we enjoy the nature nonetheless. So that's a recommendation for me, at least, that Jämsä is a place to be.
Yeah, from the little bits that I've experienced of Finnish nature, I mean, when you live in like the Uusimaa region, it's not as easy to like get to proper nature. But a little bit I experienced, it's indeed like there's just something about that I haven't experienced like anywhere else that I've been. So
yeah, and also like where we live in Satakunta, Pori, there are lots of these ancient historical sites. Like anywhere you go, there's a place, and I think that's what we enjoy also.
A lot of like Bronze Age and Iron Age, like Kalmisto, grave mounds, this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, many ancient like holy places were destroyed by Christianity when when they came here in the early Middle Ages. But there are still a lot of left, and the funny thing is that most of them are not like opened and discovered at all, because, well, I guess government doesn't want to pay for it. So, and another thing is that the Finnish soil is so like sour. Most of metals just disappear, and every organic material, so there is not much left, if anything. So that's one reason they don't discover those.
Too bad. Now, like we started our talk in the play show here at Tuska, there might be a bunch of people that discover you and experience you for the very first time. What would you hope that they get out of your their first live Noiduin experience?
I hope that when people come to see us, they could just find something from the inside of themselves, like discover something like this peace. Just enjoy, and I think modern music is sort of, people just want to party and like have this good beat. But we don't have that. We just are so speed.
We want to make people feel something, like something deeper. And we travel between worlds in a way that most of the time I think we sound quite beautiful because of Jemina's beautiful singing, but then again we have times when I just scroll this kind of black metalish thing, and I think it all comes together to honor our roots, like that this is Finnish paganism, than what the seers were doing like thousands of years ago. They would just sound beautiful or sound like fucking demons.
I guess just sort of channeling what whatever feelings you have, or energy that like, I don't know, you connect with. I feel that, at least for me personally, bands like, or projects like you guys or Highland, Vardrun and so on, to me every time I need some sort of healing for my soul, that's the music I go for. And that's just what like just resonates with me, calms me down, and resets me a bit. So, all right. It was really lovely to get to talk with you guys. I hope you have a wonderful show today. I'll be there too at some point. First, going to quickly check out the headliner, but I'll drop by for sure. And enjoy your day, and hope to see you around. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Same to you.
It's great.
All right. With this, I'll let you guys be.